Hello, my friends out there in the land of internets. Welcome to You've Got a Thing, an interview thing about Milwaukee theater things. My name is Jaimelyn Gray. I bring this to you weekly, except for summertime, because nobody. Change my mind. Was not gonna dig down that wormhole. I was gonna say something about like. You make some joke about how theater does not exist in the summertime, but that's not true because there's tons of, Shakespeare work and whatnot and such, but that is whatever. I take summers off of this program, so I'm, not doing it 52 weeks out of the year or whatever crazy, 50 weeks out of the year, some crazy thing. But, so anyway, how are you? How is today? How is the world out there in your area, wherever you are coming? I would assume that you're predominantly coming from Milwaukee. I don't think that we've reached the other, United States stratosphere, international, or anything like that. But if you have, let me know, because I would love to hear from people. Like, I listened to this Milwaukee theater podcast just because I really like the host. I think she's amazing. Yes. Yeah. So anyway, welcome. It is the week here of the Thursday of March 12th of the 2026. And so that's where we're at this week. I don't know. I flitted through the Instagram feeds and things and was like looking for stuff, and I don't know, there seems to be a little bit of a lull this week, so I'll go over a couple of things that are currently happening before we get to the interview with a couple of really great artists from Milwaukee Chamber Theaters. Is this a room over there? They're going to open that real shortly here. So we'll talk a little bit about that with a couple of fine artists shortly. So, but until that happens, let's just talk about a few things that are happening elsewhere in the Milwaukee Theatre Alliance atmosphere. So the first thing that I've got here for you is the Spitfire Grill over at Skylight Music Theater is closing this week. So you're coming up on your last chances here. I had the opportunity to see this on Tuesday. I took advantage of their Pay What You Can performance. They do these student matinees, and so I really enjoy them because I can squeeze them into the calendar pretty easily with my flexibility that I have still as of yet. That might change, but that's a story for another day. So smtmke.org for the Spitfire Grill. This is the 25th anniversary production of this. It's directed by the person who wrote it, James Falk. And it was a really Wisconsin centric tale that feels like a global centric, like if you go back, you can watch the interview with Michael Unger that we did a few weeks back for this production, and he talks about how they've done this production all over the globe, Korea and things like that, and how every culture seems to have this similar story. Very, very, very cool talk with him a few weeks back. So go back in our platforms to check that, or wherever you find this thing that we call You've Got a Thing, and check that out. About about what we all talked about. But yeah, this is the 25th anniversary. You can go to smtmke.org, or you can go to skylightmusictheater.org. Either one will get you there. But I did get an email this morning that they are doing buy one get one this weekend for this show. You just have to call the box office to redeem, and that's 414-291-7800. If you lose that, just go to the website and you can contact the box office that way as well. The code is BOGO, BOGO. Buy one, get one, take a friend, go and see this cool little tale of it's really about redemption and second chances, the power of human connection and things like that. Really, really great vocal team, I thought. So check that out in your time that you have. And so there you go, Spitfire Grill. Then next we have Camille's Rainbow, an opera for babies. Do you have a baby? Are you a caregiver of a baby? Take your baby to Camille's Rainbow, because it's an opera for babies over at Milwaukee Opera Theater. I had Joanna Ponasek, the artistic director, on last week, one of my favoritist humans for Camille's Rainbow. This is I think it's the 19th through the 23rd. So their times are a little different because they're dealing with baby time, first of all. And second of all, they're working out of sort of an office environment, and so I think their schedule is, I think it's more for the babyness of it all, to get the times when babies are active. You know what I'm saying? And so Camille's Rainbow is about Camille, who has lost her colors and is trying to find her colors, but it's really charming, and they did it last year and was really successful. And so it's for grown-ups and babies alike, really. And you can find out more information about Camille's Rainbow at Milwaukee Opera Theater. That's a TRE.org. And I think you can get your tickets there as well. So check that out. If you got a baby, you're a caregiver, you do that. Not a lot of opera for babies, although Joanna did say in our interview last week that it is becoming more of an area of research and more of a thing as of late. And so hopefully we'll see more of these things. Super fun. It just looks super fun. You can watch the trailer and things by going to their website and such. And there you go. So there's that fun. So then next we have our weekend warriors of the improv lands, Interchange Theater, our band of trusty improv artist heroes. They've got shows every weekend, and they've also got their open jam, they call it, on Sunday nights at 6 p.m. I believe that is. Go to interchangetheater.com to find out more information about that. But their events this weekend are the groups Quest and that's featuring Channel Surfin' on Friday night, Friday the 13th. We just had Friday the 13th last month, and now we've got Friday the 13th again, as that's how February works with its 28 days when we're not in a leap year. Anyway, and so Quest and is, you can roll for laughs with Quest and it's Dungeons and Dragons inspired improv at its wildest. So if you enjoy the madness of Dungeons and Dragons, this is certainly for you. Channel Surfin' is, if you can't decide what to watch on TV, neither can we. It's improv that'll take you back to the 90s daytime television lineup. Oh my Lord, Jerry Springer and all, I'm assuming. And then on Saturday, they're going to have Rivertown featuring Daily Herald. All these events start at 7:30 p.m. Rivertown is enjoy a slice of Americana from your favorite small town, Rivertown. Something new is coming to town. Meet the locals and find out what they have to say about it. And then the Daily Herald is, you won't believe how these three separate stories end up connecting from the Daily Herald format. So again, every weekend they have their shows on Friday and Saturday nights, and then their open mic on Sundays. And their venue is about I think it's technically 100-seater or something like that, but they generally have about 50 seats available in there, if I'm not mistaken. from what I remember from when we performed out of there, meaning the Constructivists a few seasons back, they've just gotten too busy for us. They can't halt their improv income for 3 weeks while we perform some random show out of the Interchange anymore. So these guys have just done a really great job with bringing their improv together and making it happen. They've just done a really great job. And so check that out at interchangetheater.com for more information on that. So that's what we've got this week from just a few other events. We've got other things coming up, like Barefoot in the Park is going to be opening up in April over at Renaissance, and Forte Theater Company has Mamma Mia coming up in April. So we're gonna jump into some, and then the Constructivists have Bug opening at the end of the month in April. So we've got some stuff coming up, but it's just this particular week is a little light on events. And so let's get to that interview instead with Milwaukee Chamber Theater. We've got Mark Corkins and Rasell Holt. We had a great little talk yesterday about that process and really just intriguing, but you'll hear more about that. So let's just get to that right now. And here we are today with two wonderful artists from Milwaukee Chamber Theater's current production of the 2020 Obie and Drama Desk Awards winner, Is This a Room? Yes. This is award-winning. It's been on Broadway also. Yes, I read that somewhere. Like this is a big deal. This is a big deal. So have two fantastic people. So Mr. Corkins, can we start with you? Can you just introduce yourself and
Sure. Yeah. Mark Corkins here. Long Milwaukee history over many years. I first came from Detroit, where I got my BFA from Wayne State University, and then was looking for grad school specifically to learn how to interpret classical text. And I really lucked out coming to the University of Milwaukee professional theater training program. And through the 3 years of that, got connected with local theaters, including the Milwaukee Rep and APT. I think my first professional gig was actually Christmas Carol at the Milwaukee Rep. And then over the years, I've worked with many local theaters, but I've also gone to the East Coast for a while. I've gone to the West Coast for a while. I've gone international for a while, spent summers in Utah. Most recently, I've really enjoyed going up to Door County for the summers, working with Door Shakespeare. And it's kind of cool that Rasell has recent history with APT, which I spent many seasons at. Yeah. So, but also, I have history with Brent Hazelton, who is directing this production and is the artistic director of Milwaukee Chamber. When he was assistant to the artistic director at the Milwaukee Rep, when there was a time when there was a resident company there.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I worked a lot with Brent during that time.
So you've been around a bit.
Yeah.
I guess. I was gonna say I can't remember if I ever saw a blip of if our times at Utah crossed over, because I was at Utah from like 98 to 2000. I don't know.
Oh yeah, no. I think I had a couple of early summers actually during the 80s, and then there was a gap, and I didn't come back until like the 2010s.
Oh.
Yeah.
You did a jump. All right.
I did.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for being here, my good sir. And then also we have with us today.
Hi, my name is Rasell Holt. A Milwaukee native. I found my way to UW Whitewater to complete my BFA in theater performance. From there, I spent a fair amount of time in Chicago before our collective trauma of COVID hit. And then since then, I've been traveling around, going from contract to contract, essentially,
Sure.
wherever work is. And as Mark said, one of my more frequent artistic homes has been American Players Theater out in Spring Green, Wisconsin, where I've done 5 seasons with them thus far, and fingers
Nice.
crossed, looking to do a few more. And, coming out of Milwaukee, this is my first professional contract in Milwaukee. And so I'm looking forward to being able to be here at Milwaukee Chamber Theater.
That's quite the journey from being from here and then taking the circular route,
quite a detour
to come back and come to Milwaukee Chamber Theater. Well, that's superb.
Thank
Fantastic. So thank you both so much for I know what schedules look like, and you're coming up on Tech Week this next week, and it's you're getting into the nitty-gritty here. So can we just, I would love to just talk about if someone wants to start. Well, first of all, like go through like who your character is and their part in this story. Mark, if we could start with you on that again and see.
Please,
Sure.
Mark.
Yeah, we'll do tag team.
Yeah, tag team it.
It is a unique text because it is the verbatim 2017 first interrogation of Reality Winner. The interrogation took place over a 4-hour period, and what the playwright Tina Satter did was just extracted all of the dead air while activities were happening. So it's like the whole thing, including coughs and throat clearings and sneezes and barking of dogs and cat hisses and stuff like that. So you have 4 characters in the play. There's Reality herself, 2 lead FBI agents, special agents. Rasell is one. And what I get to do is embody a composite character of the 11 FBI agents that showed up at Reality's house that afternoon.
Whoa.
I will be 9 of them in the transcript identified as unknown male. So I pop in, I have a lot of stuff early in the play and then pop in later during the main interrogation with non sequiturs. So it's really an interesting part because there's not a lot of wordage, but I constantly have a conversation with multiple people going on in my earpiece. And so I have to keep that alive while also remembering, oh yeah, in the play itself, there's lots of stuff that I have to be aware of and come in with my little non sequiturs on time. Fingers crossed. Yeah.
That's something else. I can't wait to see that in action. Yeah. Okay. All right, Rasell, where do you jump in then?
Well, mine's is a little more streamlined than Mark's.
Oh, okay.
I'm playing Special Agent R. Wallace Taylor, who was one of the 2 investigators that came to Reality's door on June 3rd, 2017. R. Wallace Taylor, at least what we can surmise, or at least in how we're doing it, is basically the number 2 to the other agent, played by Jonathan Wainwright. And with that, we're trying to figure out and play with the dynamic of push, pull, give, take, good cop, bad cop in a generic sense, as we're trying to get the truth out of Reality for what she has done. So I think it provides a lot of interesting dynamics in doing so. And with that said, it's interesting being able to come to one of the 2 FBI agents because, of course, the FBI is not like a laundry list of things known about them, whereas we can find so much information about Reality as she is the subject of this piece. So being able to come up with and flesh out who this man is beyond just the objective and task of the show has been a lot of fun to try to figure out.
Nice. Because
to back up just a
ahead.
bit, I was going to say I left out the context of the FBI agents show up, and she's coming home from working out and shopping, and they basically say, we've got a warrant to search your house, your car, your person, and it goes from there. So while Rasell and Jonathan, as the two lead agents, are having a conversation with Reality Winner, yes, that's her real name, I am in the background conducting a search and confiscating stuff like her devices, her journals, her, a lot of her property. We're also dealing with, she has one dog and one cat. And
do you have them? Are they on stage? Did Milwaukee Chamber Theater invest in actual animals?
I guess that's what it is. It'll be a secret.
I guess that remains to be seen. Okay. Well, because I think we should just back up a little bit even further than that. That she was a whistleblower.
Mm-hmm.
She was the one who she was the fire starter in this real story. She was the one who, it wasn't like the FBI was tapping a bunch of, another story for another day. Let's not do, that's another play. But she was the one who made all this action happen.
Yeah, essentially, she worked for the NSA, and there was a lot of conversation going on at the time about Russia's involvement in the 2016 election. Yeah. And here this young woman was 25 years old. She's at work, and amidst all this conversation, she, in a sense, had access to, the truth that could, put this conversation in perspective and give the country an answer that civilians were just not privy to. And so, for better or worse, naively or bravely, she took it upon herself to leak said document, and that eventually caught up with her, and that's what leads to the start of this play. Just pivotal day in her life.
That's crazy, crazy town.
Other background around her, she entered the Air Force right out of high school. Her specialty was Arabic languages, so Farsi, Pashto, Dari. She wanted to get on the ground in Afghanistan and help with, dealing with the local population. That wasn't happening in the Air Force, so she processed out. She had a top secret SCI, which is secure compartmentalized information, clearance. And then she got a job as an NSA contractor working on specifically the Iranian Aerospace Force office and translating documents from Farsi to English, while all of this hoopla about the Russians possibly or not, Russia hoax, hacking the election. And she's got Fox News playing in her office the entire day. And of course, they're denying it, but she sees on her, I think it's called NSA Pulse. It's like this internal newsletter, the proof. Here it is. And it's just kind of driving her nuts because she feels that if the truth could get out there, we could stop arguing about whether Russia did or didn't and actually do something about it. Agree on the truth and move on. She was 25 years old, so obviously naive, and she was charged under the Espionage Act of 1917, which was created during the First World War to go after people who would either sell or leak information regarding the military to our adversary, Germany. She takes one document and gives it to an online news source called The Intercept that specializes in leaking, and they blew it. They they called the NSA and said, "Hey, is this legit?"
Oh my Lord.
Send us a picture and we'll tell you. And of course, the document itself has all this identifying information, the printer, the day, the time. And that was part of how, before the information was even made public, the FBI was able to track her down. And Rasell has a great line, one of my favorite lines about midway through the play. Look, reality, think about what you're saying. Obviously, we know more than we're telling you, and you know more than you're telling us. So it's this really interesting cat and mouse chess game. I'll let you take over from there, Rasell.
No, that pretty much nailed it. And they're after basically the why and a confession about what she has done. And with that, I mean, the agents themselves are walking a muddy area in this case, because albeit they got a search warrant, it's not necessarily for her arrest, but essentially if they're able to get a confession out of her, it can expedite that process. And the show itself and this day, what we're trying to accomplish is putting you into reality shoes as much as possible and her perspective of such an intense day. And even with that, just on the technical front, Milwaukee Chamber Theater, instead of a natural proscenium kind of setup that they typically do, they're switching it to an alleyway style to, ideally increase the intimacy of the production.
If you go to the show page, you can see the reconfiguration of the studio space to see how the seats are sitting, and to see how you'll be sitting in that
We're
studio.
trying to put you in the room.
Exactly. Try to put you immersed in the environment, as it were. That's so cool. It's really awesome.
One of the things legally that is pertinent is they never read her rights or ask her if would you like to have counsel present. So as a military person, as a person in the National Security Administration, I think she and they play on that, think of themselves as almost like colleagues. That's one of the reasons that, hey, this is voluntary. We just want to kind of find out what's going on. So it starts very soft, this kind of benign, almost fake gentleness. Oh, we want to take care of your animals, and we want to make sure you get your groceries in the fridge. But it's all leading to something a lot darker for her anyway. I
always trust the federal government. Yes. Yes. Also another discussion for another day. But why do you think people should see this story now? Why is this? I mean, it's obviously exciting. It's obviously a great actual words from the FBI experience. Why do you think people should see and care?
I think the show itself and the incident itself, I think at least what I take away from it is an interesting conversation between, morality and law. Essentially, objectively, according to the eyes of the law, she did do something wrong, but how much does that weigh over the intent of what she was trying to accomplish for her country, and at least in her eyes. So really hoping that people can come with an open mind and curiosity about this woman's story, and hopefully they leave feeling that their money and time was well spent, and also just with wanting to know more about who this woman was, because we're only focusing on a singular day, and there's much more to her story that follows, including a memoir that she recently put out, I think late last year.
Yes, I happen to have her memoir.
I am not your enemy. Yes. I am not your enemy by Reality Winner.
fascinating woman, power lifter, CrossFit enthusiast, animal adopter, and what else? Owned 3 guns, taught yoga. Very interesting person.
Guns and yoga.
She contains multitudes.
She is a multifaceted human being. That's amazing. Where is she from?
South, Alice, Texas? Is that it?
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. I got it. I got this. Okay. So when people go to get their tickets, they can go to Milwaukee Chamber Theatre. That's a TRE. That's a theatre.org to check out the new seating, the alley seating, and get your tickets and go on a ride. It seems to be.
Yes, I think it's we're planning on 70 minutes straight through. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah. I think it says 65 minutes on the website.
I know that a lot of people these
give
days
us a little grace
like that. It's interesting. The person, Tina Satter, who first started investigating this, said, "Oh my God," when she read the transcript with all of the stuttering and all of the background noise and the weird kind of Pinterest Beckett kind of dialogue. She said, "Oh my God, this is a play. Is this a play? Could this be a play?" And then you realize as you work on it, it does kind of have a 3-act feel. The first act is dealing with all of these logistical things. Where are we going to put the dog? Can we catch the cat and get it on a leash? What are we going to do with your groceries? Are the guns secure? Do you want to talk here? Oh, you want to talk in your own house? Okay. And then there's the main interrogation, and then kind of the ramifications of when they finally, get her to confess to what she did, kind of wrapping things up. So it's like a thriller, basically.
Yeah.
And you go, "Oh my God, this really happened." And like you were saying, Jaimelyn, I question myself. Okay, do I know what to do if I'm pulled over, or what power does the government actually have? Because they don't allow her to defend herself. She doesn't get bail ever. So from that day on, she's taken to jail, and it takes about a year before she's actually charged, because she does a plea deal, but she's not able, because the material that was dealt with was classified as secret. It can't be admitted in court, and you can't talk about why you decided. It's just, did you do it or didn't you do it? And she got a harsh sentence for it.
So will patrons in fact leave horrified? Is my question.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you going to leave this experience like, this is what happened? I don't know what to do in that whole process of like, what do I do if I ever find myself in the hands of any sort of, authority figure in the Yeah.
And it's interesting because even though she's surrounded by all of these men, and there's a certain, I don't know, streak of misogynistic kind of behavior in there, which you'll see, there's a lot of humor, but she does not wilt. I mean, she stands up to them, and a lot of what she uses is this really kind of quirky humor. So as serious as the situation is, it's also, it tickles me too. Just the way things unfold. It's surprising, which is one of my favorite things.
Yeah. So go and see this real encapsulation of a real moment in history, and take away a whole bunch of, I don't know. I'm so interested to see it. That's all I can say about it, is I'm just so interested to see how this tale unfolds, and I hope other people will also be there to see that as well.
Thank you. We hope so too.
Yeah.
Thank you for helping us amplify.
Yeah. Hey,
I know
I'm here.
selling,
I'm here
it's
for you
selling
guys.
well, and there are only like 100 tickets per performance. So
Yeah, if you're listening to this or watching this and you've never been to the studio space in the Broadway Theater Center, it's not large. So do get your tickets ahead of time and make your plans and make it an evening. And go and see some thriller theater. Yeah.
I really look forward to, as you are alluding to, Jaimelyn, the conversations that it provokes, because it's very, very timely, given that we've just started a war with the country that she was specializing in when this all went down. Lots of echoes.
Yeah. The never-ending cycle of our Middle East journey. Another discussion for another time. All right. But thank you so much, and have a great rest of your rehearsal period. And I hope your tech is the easiest tech of all time. Rich.
Thank you.
We all know how tech goes. We all have these big hopes and dreams at the start of things, and then it's tech.
Tech is tech. Yeah.
Tech is tech. So thank you both so much for your time, and have a great opening.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
See you there.
Yes. All right. There you go. There you have it. Two really great artists, Mr. Mark Corkins and Mr. Rasell Holt. It was really great talking to them. I'm really looking forward to that show. Is This a Room? I think it just sounds really. I personally think it sounds really creepy, but that's just me. Maybe just the whole whistleblower system of, I don't know if I trust people in power that much. I don't know. Can I say that? Can I say that on the You've Got a Thing? I'm interested to see where that show goes. And so you can start checking that out next week. And there you go. So, but other than that, next week, I have reached out to Drea over at Black Cat and Crow Reading Company. They've got events and they were on the calendar. So hopefully they're going to have something coming up next week. Otherwise, we'll find out next week somebody who can fill their spot. And that's just what happens sometimes. Theater is an ephemeral thing, and sometimes we put stuff out there and we got to change plans, and life is lifing sometimes. So there you go. Thank you so much for joining me from wherever you are coming from, and I hope you go and see some art out there and get your fill of storytelling and feel some good catharsis, some good art catharsis this weekend. If you have any needs or questions or anything, you can always reach out to me at info@Makita, MKETA, Milwaukee Theatre Alliance.org, info@Makita.org to ask me anything and check out my answers when I get back to you. So there you go. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. And I will talk to you on the flip side on You've Got a Thing. Something. Okay, bye.